Greetings, fellows. It's time to take a squint at some more lovely robots. I don't know why I'm talking like Sean Connery. Eyes open, boy. First up, let's just get this out of the way and mention that the figures I'm going to talk about today are yet more Unicorn Trilogy ones, but they're in the guise of movie ones. So, you know, I wouldn't really count these as movie figures, to be honest. You know, the style was so far removed when they suddenly decided to chuck loads of Cybertron repaints in the movie line. It was just like, nah. So, I guess, to me, they're honorary Cybertron figures. To any sort of massive pedant, they are strictly movie figures, and no, you can't put them with Cybertron ones, but... First up, we have the contents of a truly mighty package from Thew himself. The box was huge, there was loads of packing in there. The box itself was wrapped in brown paper. It probably could have withstood a 4 megaton bomb. Along with the figure I'm about to show you, I also got off him a copy of Maximum Dinobots, which is good because I never actually got all of the individual issues, so I finally know how the story actually ends, and I guess it's okay. It's not great. I'm not really a big fan of Furman writing Dinobots, but there you go. I must be the only person on the planet to have ever said that. The piece of plastic in question, though, is movie 1, Jolt. This is a Decepticon called Jolt. He's purple and he's a Bugatti. Ooh, look at that. Being a very long Top Gear fan, of course, the chance to get a Bugatti Transformer, I was a bit like, oh yes, I've got to get that. And while, you know, really, this mould is as old as episodes of Top Gear where Jeremy Clarkson didn't look like a living scrotum. And while this mould is, you know, originally as old as episodes of Top Gear where Jeremy Clarkson didn't look like a living scrotum, it still seems to be just so slick and cool. I mean, when you mention Bugatti to someone who knows about cars, they will instantly just, you know, oh yes, that's a very nice car. Well, I don't think it is anymore, but it was, you know, fastest road car in the world you could buy, and it's amazing. It's an amazing machine. The fastest car in the world. But anyway, here it is in purple and silver, and this is the best mode. Because while I wanted the version of this mold for quite a long time, I mean, when it was around in Cybertron as Crosswise, I just didn't really see it. I guess at the time, back in 2005, you know, I was watching Top Gear even back then, and they probably did something about the Bugatti even all the way back then, and I guess I just didn't even notice that Crosswise was one of those. And then later, years later, when all versions of this mould had dropped off shelves, I realised what it was, and I was like, I've got to have that. So yeah, the car mode's nice, it's purple, it's cool. But the bot mode is just, what's going on? I'm a bit loath to actually show you it because it is really kibbly and it looks a bit odd. I mean, it's not bad. It's got, you know, a good hood, chest, and it's pretty well posable and all that, but there's some really weird design touches, and I guess I'm going to have to show you. I can't really describe them. I don't think there are words for the things that I don't quite like about this. So there you go. This is robot mode. It's just average, I guess, really. It's nothing special at all. But at the same time, there are a lot of really weird, quirky design stuff that I don't really understand. When you transform it, you have a lot of the car just end up as these things on his back. I mean, what is all this? It is just horrid kibble, and you can't do anything with it. It just sort of juts backwards like that. And then these bits up here are sculpted to look like missiles. But they point backwards. Why? Then you've got the sort of roof of the car stuck on his arm there as a shield, and that can't come off. That's permanently attached. It's on a hinge and everything, and I'm not sure. That just seems odd. I would have thought it would just come off and you could put it on. But I guess you won't lose it that way. The gun is just, you know, a typical back end of a car shooting flame affair. The missile looks almost exactly like the one that comes with Classics Rodimus. But of course it's a sort of lilac colour, it's not blue. And I haven't tried to see if it actually does fit in the same launcher, but it does look almost identical. He's got sort of weedy arms and not very interesting legs, but he's got good articulation. There's ball joints and stuff, and you can do things with his feet, so he always stands up. So he's not bad, but I'm not really sure if he's that good. The Cyberkey gimmick though is, it's like crankcases. It is far too fast to even comprehend. I mean, that's insane. It's like these launchers appear out of nowhere. And I guess like that, it looks better. It sort of makes forward mode a bit more interesting. I can't help but think though, putting missile racks either side of your head is a bit of a bad idea if you want to preserve your hearing in the long run. So there you go, that was Jolt. Yeah, I'm really sort of fostering mixed emotions about that figure, because it is a bit like, okay, this is odd, and it just looks a bit dorky and doofy, and I don't know. It's still nice, but I can't really tell why. But either way, I am a proud owner of this figure because it is a bit of thumorabilia. If you watch, I think it's his G1 Road Grabber review, and then might be the movie Crankcase review, you'll see this guy pop up. This is that very figure in those videos. Feels prestigious, man, yeah. Even though you only see it for like 2 seconds. The next tasty robot comes courtesy of Matter Smasher again. I swear, his top hat must just hold an infinite space. He just puts his hand in and pulls out all this awesome stuff. I have an armor hide from him. Yes. This is a figure that I have been seeking for quite a while, and it is because of this mode. When I first saw pictures of Cybertron armor hide, I thought, oh, I've got to get that. It's a truck that looks real. It's like a proper European truck. We don't get long nose stuff on this side of the world. We just don't. It just doesn't exist. Those kind of trucks are mythical. Everything looks like this, and nothing looks like, if it's a flat nose truck, nothing looks like G1 Optimus or anything. So every single truck former out there just doesn't fit for someone who lives on the European side of the world. So when I saw pictures of armor hide looking like this, I believe this is based on a Volvo, I just thought, yes, I've got to get that. It's a real looking truck that I could imagine seeing on the road, even though it's got a weird sort of crane hook thing on the back. We'll forget about that. It just looks real, and it's such a nice truck mode too. All this detail, and then there's no holes anywhere. Everything's all filled in, although you can sort of see his hands at the back. But it's just nice. And while I must admit that this guy's a bit smaller than what I was expecting, the price I paid was still darn sight better than what you might get on eBay. So I'm really happy with this guy. He's got a really nice little dumpy, stocky, strong robot mode, and yeah, he is pretty tiny, even for a scout, but I like it. He looks all square and just a strong guy, but he's quite small at the same time. His face is really nicely done, and he's just, you know, got good joints and good proportions, and there's no kibble anywhere, and just a good looking little robot. And then you get the Cyberkey involved, which curiously is a Decepticon one when this guy's an Autobot, but we'll forget about that. Jam it between parts of his spine and you get some missiles come out of his chest, which sort of begs the more nerdier questions to where his spark and all his internal stuff is. If his entire chest houses 8 missiles, where is the stuff that actually allows him to live? It must all be in his crotch. So, there we go. That's another couple of figures ticked off the sort of I've wanted forever list. They are very nice, despite what I might have said about Jolt. I'm still very happy to have him, and it's just another expansion of my lovely lot of Cybertron figures, where half of them aren't actually from Cybertron at all. So, if there's one thing to take away from this video, go and get yourself a Polish potato truck, and look out for more stuff coming very soon, because I filmed something else this very day that was all quite exciting, and yes, you should find it quite entertaining, I hope. Before I sign off though, I just do want to sort of chip in and say I am paying attention to all of this YouTube responsey stuff. The sort of discussions that have been going back from Lee to Dorian and Dave. There are a few videos from a few people I've got to catch up on. I keep meaning to watch Sammy's video about our reviewers dying out, but I just never get the chance. And I would like to say some things to chip into that conversation, but I guess that's for another video, and hopefully I can get that out soon, because I'm really enjoying the sort of discussion level of everything on YouTube. As a quick little sort of concise ball of opinion on all of those matters, I would say maybe reviews are sort of going out of fashion a little bit. I like to think what I do here with Twitter is a bit of a review discussion hybrid. So, I don't know, I must say I do find the whole discussion side of everything more entertaining because anyone can do a review, everyone has done a review, it's just saturating the entire YouTubes, and it's a bit more interesting to have people talk about deeper things, more interesting abstract concepts, and talk about the way things are rather than just how many joints a robot has. So maybe look out for that too, but of course now I've just said all that, I might not even bother. I guess you'll find out. Ta-da!